Refugee Connections exists really to equip the church, capital C church across Phoenix to love our refugee neighbors. Arizona is one of the top receiving states historically for refugees in the US. And most of those folks come to Phoenix. So the goal is really to educate Christians across Phoenix about the global refugee crisis and a local biblical response, and then plug them into existing volunteer opportunities with other organizations across the valley here, and then provide ongoing space for sort of nourishment and networking as they serve, so that they're not kind of loners out there, but they have a place to come back to so they don't get burned out, things like that. People, especially fellow believers, might not see or know is that a lot of the people who come here through the refugee resettlement program are our fellow Christian brethren who've survived persecution. So over the last 10 years or so, the number one country from which refugees have come to the United States has been Burma, Myanmar, and about 70% of those people are Christians who have survived persecution. So they're coming here now, and when I think about that, I think we just have to stop and say, what is God doing here? So what is he doing through this mass migration, sending people here from basically the 1040 window? A lot of those who are coming here have never had the chance to learn the truth about Jesus. They come from places like Afghanistan where they believe something about Jesus and it's not rooted in the biblical scriptures. And so now they're in a place where they can hear the truth about Jesus. But a lot of people who are coming here have a vibrant faith that has been kind of tested by fire, and they're bringing that here. And so I like to just remember the scriptures about, God's ways being higher than our ways, and he uses the weak things of the world to shame the strong, so that no human being might boast in the presence of God. And I think it would do us well to keep that in mind and to see what he's doing. Of Anglicanism, at least as I have encountered it here in our local parish, is like silence before God, contemplation, mystery. So maybe that goes to back to what I was saying, and just being comfortable with not having answers and not having everything lined up and squared away. So I think leaning into my weaknesses and taking time to rest and relying on God, and in the sense that he's going to do this work while I'm asleep. The Anglican Communion is also global, right? And so I think that lends itself nicely to the idea of a global church, and that we don't need to be in competition. It's one body, and that everybody has a seat at the table.